Yagiz Kaan Erdogmus just pulled off a performance so clinical it felt like the engine was playing for him. We are talking about absolute domination against a 2,620 rated Grandmaster in one of the most prestigious tournaments of the year. Forget what you thought you knew about the English opening. Erdogmus turns a quiet positional battle into a tactical meat grinder, showing exactly why he is the fastest rising talent in the world right now. Was this the most perfect black piece performance of 2026? Let's dive into the carnage and see how he dismantled his opponent's defenses piece by piece. White strikes in the center early with d4. This is the standard reaction to the English setup, but notice how black responds. By playing bishop b4+, Erdogmus isn't just checking the king. He is forcing a structural decision. If white plays bishop d2, he is essentially begging to trade his strong light-squared bishop. Erdogmus knows that trading off the bishop often eases the tension for black, simplifying the position into something he can grind down. It's a subtle choice, but it sets the tone for the entire encounter. White plays pawn takes e5, initiating a cascade of exchanges. After pawn takes e5, the center begins to clarify. The move queen takes d8 is the most critical juncture of this opening phase. By exchanging queens so early, the game shifts from a complex tactical brawl into a deep, technical endgame. White is hoping to rely on his structural stability, but Erdogmus is licking his chops. He understands that with the queens off the board, the long-term potential of his pieces, especially that dark-squared bishop, is going to outweigh white's minor structural edges. Knight f3. White is trying to develop as fast as possible to contest the d-file, but check out the move b4 from black. This is a massive thematic push. It forces the knight away from its comfort zone at c3. By playing knight a4, white is trying to keep the position stable, but notice that the knight is now awkwardly placed on the rim. In chess, a knight on the rim is dim, and Erdogmus is going to capitalize on this lack of coordination for the next 30 moves. He is essentially playing a man up because that knight is effectively out of the game. White decides to castle long, presumably to put pressure on the d-file. But look at what happens immediately after. Bishop b7. That bishop is a monster. It's slicing through the long diagonal, staring directly at white's king side. Even without queens, the coordination provided by that bishop means black has all the active potential. White is trying to fight for the d-file, but Erdogmus is playing for the total collapse of white's queenside structure, which is already starting to look a bit shaky. Knight b2 is a defensive retreat. White is clearly feeling the heat. By retreating, white is trying to fortify the queen side, but it's a passive move that signals black has the initiative. Erdogmus continues his development with knight f8, repositioning his forces to launch a crushing assault on the center and the king side. When you see a high-rated player like Martinez Alcantara retreating their pieces like this, it's a clear sign that the pressure is mounting and the engine evaluation is shifting heavily into black's favor. Pawn f4 is a desperate attempt to create counterplay. White is trying to lash out before he gets strangled, but this move actually weakens the position further. By pushing f4, white creates potential holes around his own king and commits to a structure that is going to be incredibly difficult to defend. Erdogmus is a machine. He sees the weakness and immediately pivots to exploit it. He doesn't panic. He just keeps tightening the noose. King b2 is a prophylactic move, trying to get the king out of the potential crossfire on the d-file. But black responds with a4. This is just brutal. It's an avalanche of pawns. Erdogmus is forcing the play on the queen side, creating targets for his rooks and knights. At this level, once you concede the space advantage like this, it is almost impossible to get it back. Erdogmus is effectively suffocating his opponent with pure positional pressure. The structure collapses. After pawn takes b3, the queen side becomes a graveyard for white's pieces. Rook a5 is a masterclass in coordination. By bringing the rook to the 5th rank, black now controls the entire horizontal axis, preparing to swing it into the heart of white's position. This is how you win at the elite level. You don't just calculate. You identify the path of least resistance and turn the screw until your opponent has no moves left that don't lose material. Rook f1 is a tragic necessity for white. He is just trying to hold the pieces together. But look at knight d4. That knight is perfectly centralized, acting as the anchor for the entire black army. White simply cannot remove it without creating catastrophic structural weaknesses. This is the definition of a good piece versus bad piece scenario. Erdogmus has maximized his potential, while white is reduced to moving pieces back and forth, hoping for a miracle that just isn't coming. King takes c2 is the final nail in the coffin. Black's coordination was already perfect, but the move bishop d1 plus is the coup de grace. It forces the king into a position where it is essentially trapped. Look at how Erdogmus handles the endgame. He doesn't get greedy. He just improves his position move by move until the win becomes mathematically inevitable. The accuracy in this sequence is simply breathtaking. Even an engine would be proud of this conversion. Knight e3 is a desperate attempt to cover the squares, but bishop takes b3 is the final blow. The structural integrity of white's position is completely pulverized. There is no recovery from this. Every single one of black's pieces is working in perfect harmony, creating a lethal web. White is paralyzed. He can't move, he can't defend, and frankly, he can't even breathe. This game will be studied for years as an example of how to handle an English opening disadvantage. And with that final exchange, white resigns. A total demolition by Yagiz Kaan Erdogmus. He showcased deep understanding, cold-blooded calculation, and an unrelenting positional grip that would leave even a world champion impressed. This is the kind of game that moves the needle on what we consider perfect play. The way he turned that small advantage into a crushing win is why he's arguably the most exciting prospect in the history of the game.